Special thank you to the EA Creator Network for providing early access to The Sims 4 Crystal Creations. So a speed build that I've never done before is a cottage. I've always wanted to build a cottage with The Sims 4 cottage living, but I can never get it to look right. I guess cottages are not my style, or at least the style of cottage is not my style. So I'm more like modern, ultra modern kind of homes. So doing like a cute, cozy cottage is just not my thing. But today we're building a cute and cozy Gemology Cottage using cottage living and the new Crystal Creations pack. The house is built in Henford-on-Bagley, and I built it on a 30 by 20 lot. It's the lot that has a rental property on it, but I turned it into a residential, which that lot is located here. So yeah, it's actually a very affordable house. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 48,573 simoleons, and I only used 6 packs, which I used Cottage Living, For Rent, Realm of Magic, Crystal Creations Greenhouse Haven Kit, obviously for the greenhouse that we will be building, and then Everyday Clutter for just some clutter items. At first, when I shared the build to the gallery, I was like, why is For Rent on there? I don't remember using any For Rent items, but apparently I did. I used I think 4 things, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm sorry for that one, because I really only wanted it to be like Cottage Living, Realm of Magic, Crystal Creations, Greenhouse Haven, and then the Clutter Kit. Yeah. But apparently I used the bed and the table, which I totally forgot about in the primary bedroom. So as you can see, the house is taking shape. I started this a couple of days ago, and then I got more sick, so yeah, my voice might sound a little different compared to the last video. I had that really bad coughing thing. Well, it got worse, and I kind of lost my voice for a couple of days. Still kind of a little raspy, and yeah, getting there. But so yeah, if I do sound different, that is why. But yeah, so I built this a couple of days ago while I was just hacking up along, and yeah, I came back to this, and I actually ended up changing up a couple of things. So a couple of things that we do change is the front area here is just a very odd shape. I don't know, the house, when I kept staring at the screenshots that I took of the build, I was just like, something about it just doesn't feel like a cottage. It feels more like it belongs in the Oriental world, which I'm drawing a blank on what that is. Mount Kamarabi. Yeah, it feels like it should go there, and it wasn't really giving me full-on cottage vibes. So yeah, we do change some of the styling and some different things around, but I do think this would be a great build for that world too. And if it's not a cottage, but at least I know I can do that style, I guess, so that's a plus. So we're now into the interior and figuring out the kitchen layout. I thought it was great to put it here. We have double doors going to the outside, which will lead to a side patio. We have a beautiful garden out there. And then we have access to the back as well, out a back door, which also gets you quickly over to the greenhouse, which we will put together. And that has the Crystal Creations work table. I believe there's also flower arranging as well in there, and I didn't put any planter pots, but you can totally do that if you so choose. I figured having the garden plots was actually pretty good. I didn't think we needed anything else, but if you feel like you do, by all means, go right ahead. I wanted to change up how the kitchen and the living room kind of went together, so I added this nice little detail with some columns and a frieze trim towards the top of the ceiling. And now figuring out the colors, everything is kind of a beigey cream, a lot of stone, a lot of brick, a lot of beigey, dark, cottagey, cozy colors. It actually turns out really great in the end. I'm super proud of it. Very small living space, but still great. We have a fireplace in there, but that becomes the dining room, which I thought was kind of weird, having the dining room be right as soon as you walk in the front door, but it's okay. It's meant to be a small, cozy cottage, so of course things are going to just be in different spots than you're normally used to in a traditional house. So, and the living room just made more sense in the bigger area. next to the kitchen, I thought, because like why give the dining room such a big, space, and then the living room such a tiny space. Also, like you don't want to walk in the front door and be smacked with like the couch. So also, did you see that the chimney had like this weird lighting on it? I've never seen that before. I don't know what's going on. And I did grab a couple of mods the other day, so I am experimenting with Tool and figuring out how that works. So you might have seen me use it there to resize this chimney a little bit because it was just too large. I think I also used it for the interior rug in the living room. But yeah, I'm kind of playing around with Tool. And I got a couple of other ones like the UI Cheats mod and Better Build By, which kind of goes along with Tool, I guess. I mean, they kind of complement each other, but I've used that in the past. But I do find that when I have the mod in, I can't find like debug landscaping. Like I turn on all the cheats and they're just not there. Like the landscaping's not there. And then I switch into like the landscaping category thinking it's going to all be in there, but none of the like world landscaping that I normally gravitate towards and use is just not showing in the debug. Like a lot of the debug items and hidden objects aren't showing when I have Better Build By in. I don't know why. Don't know if that's a bug. Don't know if it's something I'm doing or what, but I did end up taking that out to actually be able to do the landscaping on this little cottage, but I did keep Tool in, obviously. So yeah, Tool is, it's definitely the first time I'm using it. So big adjustment, but it's definitely great, I have to say. Twisted Mexi does a fantastic job with his mods, and like it's actually very easy once you kind of figure out what you're doing with it and like what you want to do with it, and then just figure out like the values that you want to scale something to. It takes a little bit of experimenting because you have to sometimes use decimal points to get the appropriate size or scaling. You don't want it too large, but you don't want it too small either. But yeah, it was definitely fun because I think before I built this house on this exact lot, I was playing with the Tool mod, and I actually placed down the refrigerator in the kitchen and I just like set it to the max. I think it allows you to go up to like 25. So I just hit 25. Like, let's see what this does. And it was like this ginormous refrigerator. It wasn't even on the lot anymore. Like it was just boom. Like it was just towering over like the entire world. And that was just fun to try and get rid of too. I think I ended up having to use the bulldozer and just bulldoze the lot. But then I also made the refrigerator smaller just to see how small objects can actually go from their default scale. So definitely fun playing around with that. I hope to use that in some future builds some more. I don't think I'll do it like all the time, but it's definitely handy to have, the ability to be able to resize some objects, like especially rugs. Rugs are like a big one for me because I always want a rug that's like a certain size. And then if you're just using the bracket keys, sometimes it's too large or sometimes it's just too small. Like if you want to make it smaller, and it's never in between. So this allows you to do that in between, which is great and just what I want. I was trying to elevate this object, this little like record player stereo thing, and I couldn't figure it out. I wanted to get a good height where it wasn't like floating off the table, and then I was like, okay, I'm playing with this too much, so I just need to like let it go. And I didn't end up doing it. I didn't put it in there. But you also see I did use Tool on the shelf in the kitchen as well, because I thought it was just slightly large, and it had like this weird, it almost looked kind of like it was blurry, like it was too large for itself. So sizing it down actually corrected that issue, and I think it looks way nicer in the kitchen like that. So now we're just filling the little cottage with clutter, and I think it looks really cute. I love the yellow on these cabinets. I don't use these cabinets enough, I guess because I don't really build this style very often. So, not really my thing, but I do want to try new things and kind of get out there outside of my comfort zone with builds and just do different things. So here we are. So yeah, I do want to get back into some for rent speed builds. I've really been missing like building rental properties and apartments. So I do want to do that. Oh, by the way, I should mention this house is on the gallery. I can't believe it. I kind of got distracted by Tool, but yeah, this build is available on the gallery. Here is the gallery listing. So you can go grab that right now on the gallery. It's just called Gemology Cottage. My ID is just TheSimified. So hopefully you'll be able to find it, use it. Again, it's very affordable. I think, I mean, it's not like a starter or anything, and it only uses 6 packs, so it's not too bad. It's not super limited, but this might be the last like Crystal Creations dedicated build that I will do for the pack. But I do plan to still use the items and the table throughout different builds as we continue. So it'll kind of just blend in like all the other content does. So, oh yes, and I used the for rent tiles in the like kitchen and bathrooms. That's right, because it had this like pretty pattern on it with the soft yellow, and I thought that just complemented the kitchen perfectly. So that's right. Yep, for rent came in kind of heavy on this pack, a little bit more than I thought it did. So yeah, and the bed is just pretty, like, because again you have that yellow, like it's a very soft yellow, and I was kind of just tying the items and the furnishings in together. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with that. Also, these lights were very cool. They kind of look like dragonflies, or not dragonflies, like lightning bugs maybe, with like their wings open. I thought that was so neat, and I've never used them before, so I thought, why not? So yeah, one of the things I did when I changed the like look of this build was I bumped out this bedroom a little bit, so it gave it more space, because I got rid of some of the roofing on the front, which I think was making it look not enough like a cottage. So we're doing some clutter now in the primary bedroom, and I did incorporate the little bust for hang your jewelry. Also on the table is the little like jewelry thing, and I did find out that those are actually functional. They're not decorative. You can actually store jewelry in that like flat display case. So and your Sims can actually, like, you can click on it and have them like put on their jewelry, which I think is so cool. I did not know that, but I did figure that out. So yeah, very nice little detail that you can actually use it for storage, and it's not just for show. I did put a small office in the second bedroom, which just like a computer and a bunch of different little clutter items around. But yeah, also I just realized when I expanded the bedroom, I think the dresser got deleted, and that didn't make it into the final, because I just realized I put the dresser in that little like cubbyhole thingy, and it's not in there in the final build. Whoopsie. Oh, it's okay. It's all good. But yeah, so I also want to mention the Crystal Creations giveaway is now concluded as of March 9th, 2024. I did select a random winner. So congrats to them on winning the giveaway code for the pack. I hope you have so much fun playing with Crystal Creations. It adds some really great gameplay. And the like amount of crafting and jewelry that you can do is really great. Like, it's a lot more than you think. Like, there's like slightly over 1,000 like different possibilities and combinations. So like, it's quite a bit. Like, you'd have to make a lot of jewelry. Like, your Sims would be at it for quite a while, putting the jewelry together, and it takes a while too. When I was playing in this lot and taking screenshots, I'd moved to Simon, and I was having her craft jewelry, and she was like smacking I think she was like making a ring, because I said to make like random jewelry, and I think it was like 300 simoleons. So like it looked like she was making a ring, and she was using a hammer, and she like smacked herself in the head and made herself go dizzy for a second. And I'm like, ouch, yeah, that probably hurt. And then she got out like pliers. So it takes a while. She was doing that for a while, and like the little like circular status thing around an action only moved like a tiny bit. So I'm like, oh boy, yeah, this will take a while to do, but very cool. Some of the other details about the property, besides just outdoor gardening, we do put a little chicken coop out here, so you can have chickens, which is cool. We also have this little bird tree thing, so birds will actually fly in and land on it. You can talk to the birds, and you can kind of interact with the object, which I think is so cool. Here's where I'm kind of fixing the front and different elevations of the build, and I think it just looks so much better. I did try using the thicker like thatching from cottage living, but then it was sticking through the walls on the interior, which is so annoying. It's like, why? They're all rooms. Why are you sticking through? So I ended up reverting back to what I originally had, which was just some like brown trimming on the roof edges, because it just, yeah, I was like, oh man, I can't have like the thatching sticking through the roof. We are now doing terrain painting, but you see me do this, but then I actually ended up deleting it and redoing it because I didn't like the stone I chose here. And I thought it was just easier rather than me like go around and erase it all and then repaint. It was easier for me to just use the bulldozer tool, get rid of it and repaint, because I found this flagstone, which I think looked way better. Like I think the other stone was just a bit too orange, and I think it was like from like a desert thing. So yeah, it's more for a desert environment and not for what I was looking for here. So I wanted something a little softer. And there's the nice garden. I think I realized that I did not put a fence into the garden areas. So either you can delete a piece of the fence or you can add a garden gate. I just can't believe I forgot that. I'm only just realizing that now. But yeah, the build is already available in the gallery. So whoops, I'm so sorry about that. Usually I'm pretty good with catching small details like that, but for some reason, I'm just not in the right headspace. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Also, I added the little bunny hideaway house, which is so cool because you can interact with that. There are no rabbits. When I played, there were no rabbits hiding in it at that point in time. But I do hope that some actually do show up because that would be really nice. We also have the gem charging, as you can see, is sitting there right on the ground. I do come back and I put that on a outdoor table, which your Sims can still utilize when it's on a table. And it looks way nicer being like on something like a table rather than just laying in the middle of the ground like that, all weird. So we do put some mushrooms around and doing some of the landscaping. I think it looks so cute. Really turned out really nice for a cottage build, especially something that is not like my wheelhouse. This is not my thing, you know? So I think I did a really solid job on it. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I really like how it turned out. I'm super proud of it. I really love the greenhouse and all the wood tones, and just like having a nice, cute little cottage build like this. I really didn't think I could pull it off, truthfully. There's just some things that I try, and I just can't do it. Like I just can't get it to look right or how I want it to look in my head. But this was one of those builds where I just like, I gotta do it. I want to do it. I gotta do it. We're gonna do it. So here we are. Just finishing up the build now with some different items. I found this like wall clock. I found this little like cute little wreath, which I thought was nice to add, and just some different items here and there. And I was exploring some additional lighting, maybe to see if it could go on the fence post, but it didn't really light up like I thought. From the debug catalog here. I did think about a car for a second, and then I'm like, no, that would just, I think it's just too much already. Like there is quite a bit on this slot already, and I think just having a car is just not a thing that we need on this slot. It's very secluded too. I mean, there is a road like behind the house right there, but it's okay. We didn't need a car for this build. I mean, they're not functional anyway, so yeah, this is the beautiful greenhouse. I love the lighting in here being all glass like that. I did add a small little saucer light out there. I kind of sized it down as small as it could go just so you really wouldn't see it too much, but it could actually be like, you know, have some other light. Like if you're out there working at night on jewelry, it's not going to be like dark. So yeah, the dresser is actually gone from that second bedroom, but something you can easily add if you feel like you need it. But that's really supposed to be like an office / guest bedroom anyway. So but yeah, here is the finished build, or the finished Gemology Cottage. We're going to go through the screenshots now. Beautiful front. Here's the side, also with you can see the patio there, the garden plot. I did plant some pumpkins, but that was about it. I left the other plots. You can also see little birds hanging out on the tree. So something weird though, they kind of tend to fly in and around in different spots. So in one of the screenshots, I'll see if you can catch it. It's towards the kitchen. One of the screenshots coming up, there's actually a bird that's flying through the kitchen. It's just an effect. It's not real, but like, yeah, I want to see if you can maybe spot it. It's not in this one, but it'll be in, not in that screenshot either. I thought it was coming, but yeah, it's in this screenshot. See if you can see it. Yeah, good luck. I'm sure you'll find it. It's pretty easy to spot it. But then I quickly unpaused to take this one because I didn't want a bird in the way. It just looked weird. But yeah, they kind of just fly in and around. So don't be like scared if you see one. Like, why is there a bird in the house? It's just for the tree, just an effect. But I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe for future builds, maybe future cottages. If this one is something that everybody likes, I don't know. We're going to do some for rent in the next speed build. I also want to do the shell challenge. So I'm thinking of like maybe like a for rent, at least for my version of the shell challenge, a for rent speed build. But we'll see how that goes. But anyway, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I do hope you enjoyed, and I do thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next video.